Champions from
upsetting Pittsburgh yet again in New York.
Jamie Dixon's got a heck of a program going in Pittsburgh, and he's getting very good players from New York. Krauser, again, wanting to take the shot. He didn't look for anybody else. He wanted it. The destiny for the Panthers was in his hands, and today it may not work, but he's won a bunch of them.
The Big East, basketball at its best. The Big East Conference under Commissioner Mike Tranghese began in 1979, originally with 7 teams. Now an alliance of 16, 25 national championships won by Big East teams in 6 different sports over the years.
Well, it's clearly, I get upset. I'm a basketball guy when they make all these maneuvers to accommodate football. You know, the Sugar Bowl this year with West Virginia and Georgia was not the signature event for the Big East. The Big East tournament is the signature event. It is, basketball is the Big East, and it's a great league. It's the best league in the country this year.
And this is from a guy that coached in the ACC at Duke and lives by Duke.
Played at State, too, but I'm telling you, this is the best league this year.
Masseri just assured a St. John's win. Phil Masseri, the walk-on from Cornwall Central, New York.
He was the guy that got the technical foul early because he was so fired up and invested in this game.
Norm Roberts, the guy who coaches St. John's, who says from a competition standpoint, we've got tough guys from New York City. Here's a launch by Fields. Almost got it. Game is over. And St. John's, closing with an 8-2 run, has upset Pittsburgh 55-50.
Well, if you're going to become defeated instead of undefeated, I guess keeping it in the family is the best thing. The Big East Conference, so tough this year, they beat up on each other. But this was an incredible game.
St. John's 55, Pittsburgh 50, so the Panthers, 9th in America, now go to 15-1 on the season, 4-1 in Big East play. St. John's now 10-6 on the year, 3-2 in the conference. As today they were led by a 24-point game from Lamont Hamilton, offsetting just 1 point from Aaron Spears. A huge win for St. John's, but the road gets no easier as they travel next to Storrs, Connecticut, to play a great UConn team on Wednesday night. So St. John's wins it in an upset, a 6th straight year that St. John's has defeated Pittsburgh in New York. Once again, our final score, St. John's 55, Pittsburgh 50. Now for Bucky Waters, this is Don Criqui. This has been a presentation of ESPN Regional Television, the leader in collegiate sports. Thank you for joining us from Madison Square Garden in New York.
With a team that's on a major roll. What a 24-hour span it's been for the St. John's Red Storm. It began last night with an emotional ceremony on the Queens campus. There, the inaugural members of St. John's Legacies. The 10-person class was led by such greats as Lou Carnesecca, Chris Mullen, and Mark Jackson. Then this morning, the new honorees were at the Garden prior to the Red Storm game with Pitt.
And the greatest feeling I'll have is bringing my 4 children and wife to the game and being able to look up in the rafters. That's something that a kid from New York City dreamed of.
And the best was yet to come as Norm Roberts' Red Storm took on undefeated 9th-ranked Pittsburgh. St. John's erupted, scoring the game's first 14 points. Lamont Hamilton was huge there, burying the 3-pointer, and then down low for the alley-oop jam. Nice. St. John's led 33-19 early second half, but the Panthers clawed back late. Carl Krauser hits the baseline jumper, giving Pitt a 48-47 lead with 2:39 left. But St. John's would not fold. Nice feed to Hamilton for 2 of his career-high 24 points. Yes, the Johnnies pull it out, 55-50, upsetting their 2nd straight top 25 team. So one of the nation's 3 unbeatens falls by the wayside. That left top-ranked Duke looking to remain perfect today, taking on unranked Georgetown. The Hoyas were in total sync. Jeff Green, the big jam down low. Hoyas up 48-34 second half. But then J.J. Redick single-handedly brought Duke back. He was a man on a mission, all over the court, matching a career-high 41 points as Duke pulled to within 2. But then they ran out of gas. Bruce Bowman with the fast break dunk for 2 of his 23 points. Pandemonium on the floor as the Hoyas win 87-84. Florida is now the nation's only undefeated team left. Big move involving the Mets. Today,
greatest basketball players in the history of St. John's University were honored. Part of the Legacy Awards. Let's take a look. Last week at Carnesecca Arena, St. John's University bestowed basketball legacy honors on 10 of the university's all-time great players. To commemorate their tremendous achievements, banners will hang permanently from the rafters of Carnesecca Arena.
Tonight, we honor 10 individuals and their families and thank them for all they have contributed to the history and tradition of St. John's basketball.
Our next honoree was one of the most talented players ever to wear a St. John's uniform. He was a 2-time All-American, 3rd all-time in rebounds. He's Tony Jackson. Accepting for Tony Jackson, his wife, Patricia.
I feel I'm so privileged to stand here and represent my husband, Tony Jackson, for the honors you give to me.
Our next honoree was the ultimate floor general, the all-time assist leader at St. John's. He went on to a long and impressive career in the NBA. He's Mark Jackson.
It's sad when, you know, they're not talking about you when they say one of the great scorers in the history of St. John's University. I had to wait for them to say a key word, unselfish, guy that distributed the ball. And I knew it was my turn. It's not about leaving a legacy for your children, but more importantly, it's about living a legacy. I truly thank God for you. Thank you so much.
Remembering that block shot of Pearl Washington in '86 in the Big East tournament, here's Walter Berry.
I'd like to thank Lou Carnesecca, Ron Rutledge, Brian Mahoney, St. John's University for the opportunity, and to my teammates, thanks for the memories.
He's the all-time leading scorer in St. John's history, 2,440 points, all two-pointers and free throws. He's an original who took his sharpshooting to the NBA level. Now, he is the general manager of the Golden State Warriors, Chris Mullin.
I just want to thank everybody. You know, like most of these guys, we love the game and we love playing with each other. And I really, you know, can't say enough how much you guys have supported me and got me, you know, to where I am today. And thank you very much for this honor. Appreciate it.
In his junior year, he really emerged as a national player of prominence. He averaged 22 points a game. He's Malik Sealy. Accepting the honor for Malik Sealy, his wife Lisa, and his son Malik Jr.
Good evening. I'm Malik Remington Sealy, and my dad is Malik Sealy. I'm 8 years old, and this is my first speech. When my mom asked me, did I want to speak tonight, I said okay. Immediately after I asked, were there going to be a lot of people? She said yes. I started to get nervous. I asked Mom, what would Daddy do? My mom said that my dad would always meet his challenges head on. So here I am. You all know my dad was killed by a drunk driver on May 20th, 2000. Everyone has such great stories about him. I only wish I could have my own stories about him. My mom said my speech was supposed to be about how I think my dad would have felt about this honor. I think my dad would have been happy. He loved this school. Daddy would always fight loud and hard for the Red Storm. Thank you for the legacy honor for my dad, Malik Sealy. I think he's watching and he's happy. Thank you for helping me create one of my own stories tonight. And most of all, remember, my daddy was a good man.
He had a huge appetite for winning. 24 years, 24 postseasons. Big East Coach of the Year 3 times, Lou Carnesecca.
I'm indebted to all the players that made my life a wonderful, wonderful dream. And if I had to do it all over again, I would do it again. Thank you very much, and God bless you all.
A day later, this prestigious group was recognized at halftime of the St. John's-Pittsburgh game at Madison Square Garden. From the players of yesterday,